What? How would you say people would describe you as a student?
Ooh.
Like coming up, like you moving to Macon, around the time when you start in school and you becoming into yourself. Like who, is that? And then did you always know you was gonna be a community organizer? Like what was some of your other aspirations?
Yeah, so I don't think I always knew I was going to be a community organizer. I don't think I ever labeled it as that. I don't think I knew what that would look like. I do think I've always been a leader, um, even when I didn't mean to be. Like I would, I can remember like organizing things in middle school. Like I don't know if you remember Genesis, that whole thing. I remember uh, writing down free Genesis on pieces of paper and passing them out to people around school. And
Yeah.
the whole school now got papers with free Genesis stapled to their T-shirts, things like that, right?
Mm.
That I did as younger Mayah. I didn't realize that was me manifesting what I'd be doing now.
Yeah.
And so I think my family and friends would explain or describe me as a passionate person. As a team player, I've always been on teams. My parents always had me in some type of, I was a cheerleader and a competition cheerleader, and I would be on student government and things. So I've always enjoyed collaborating with other people to get things done.
Yeah.
So I think that's how they describe me, as a leader and as a team player.
Okay. Okay. So coming up, like what was the like after like middle school and you going through high school and what was some of the things that you were thinking about, like toward graduation? Like what was the college selection process like?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to go to Spelman, and the majority of the reason is because my mother went to Spelman, so I'm
Okay.
a legacy. Like I said, she was and is my role model, and so she loved Spelman, and I always wanted to see what that love was about, right?
Yeah.
And then once I was old enough to understand that it was a all black, all women institution, that made it even more special to me. Whereas for some of my peers, when I tell them, I want to go to an all women HBCU, that frightened them a little bit.
Hmm.
And I didn't, when I was younger, I didn't realize like how it's kind of internalized racism, right? But at
Hmm.
that age, I didn't get that. But I understand it more fully now. Like, people are sometimes intimidated by being with so many people who look like them and can actually relate to their experience, because we're not used to that.
Yeah.
And so I always knew I said all this to say, I always knew I wanted to go to Spelman. Of course, I applied to a few other places just in case, but I did get in, and it was the absolute best experience of my entire life.
What was it like? Any type of adversity for you? Like it could be related to coming up and making, having different friends who had struggle situations that you kind of took on, that you kind of understood at a younger age.
Mm-hmm. Um. So I mean, I am an empath, right?
Mm.
So I tend to take on the feelings of people I'm connected to, and I do feel that I am strongly connected to the city. Um, and I don't quite know how that happened. I think community and connection is just like rooted in me. And
Mm.
so when my city hurts, I hurt. So not even something specifically happening to me, but hearing about the multiple homicides or being at parties where people were killed, things like that have definitely they have impacted my work, but my emotions as well, right? Like just thinking about this city and what I want it to be, and not just me, what I want it to be for other people, like a safe haven.
Mm.
I want people to see it as I see it, but just knowing that different things happen, and that is traumatizing for some people. And so when some people say, I can't wait to leave here, I can't stand this city, boom, 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 instead of me getting offended or anybody else getting offended, I do have to take a step back and say, well, people have had really, really traumatic experiences here, and not everybody knows how to process that, and not everybody can separate that experience from this place.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so that adversity that the city has faced has impacted me in that way. And then, of course, everybody goes through things in their personal lives. Yeah, that